So turn off the music.
Uh-oh. Listen, we got to have some fun. We got to try to have some fun in all this disarray that's going on around us with the Eagles. But y'all, we're back. This is A2D Radio. This is Vetted. I'm Irving Fryar. That's Big Dog Hollis Thomas over there next to me. And y'all hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and let's go.
What's up, my family? Listen, first-time listener, or you've been here the whole damn time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, giddy up, let's go, no notes.
That's my baby.
That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
What
the hell was that? Oh, yeah!
What the f*** are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
That's always a good montage.
Yeah, let's get our reads out of the way, man, before we get into this dialogue. But tell people what you got for them, Big Dog.
You know what I got for you today. Talking about Royal Billiards, who is celebrating their 41st year in business. They've been in business since 1982. They've been giving us the ultimate play. The ultimate is the action. Let me take that back. They're the ultimate place to get your man cave and game room desires fulfilled. They have things like shuffleboards, bars and bar stools, and bar stools, and the ultimate, the King's Throne, which I like the best. And then they have the bar tables, and let's not forget they have hot tubs. But you can play video games in the hot tub too, but not video games in hot tubs at the same time. And let's not forget the almighty pool tables, which we have a special going on. There's a hot off the presses here. Two brand new plank and hide 8-foot pool tables left at an amazing sale price of $27.95. Nice. These beautiful furniture style pool tables come with and include local delivery, setup, and accessories only. There's only two of them left. And you can find all this at 515 Bethlehem Pike, Colmar, Pennsylvania, 18915, or go on to royalbilliards.com. Tell them you heard it on A2D Radio, the Tank sent you, and take Marty some treats. He loves treats. And they'll have a good time with you too. And you can try some of the video games and possibly take your swimsuit and hop in the hot tub.
Yeah, we want about that hot tub stuff. Hot tub. Listen,
get water.
Another great place for you to go to is Carlino's. Yep, on County Line Road in Ardmore. Ask for Pat, ask for Angela. Those are the two owners. This business is an Italian market that has been in place now, in business now, this third generation, 40 years. They do things right. Meats, cold cuts, pastas, salads, wine. Can't be Italian without wine. Gotta have it. Carlino's, yeah. Started by Mama Carlino in 1983 with her husband, Nicola. This place is awesome. You got to go there. You got to get there. You got to be there. They treat everybody like they're somebody. They pay special attention when you come when you come there and you make your request known. They make sure they attend to you. They make sure everything is done perfectly. They make sure you have all the intricacies of what they make available to you at this Italian market. Carlino's, County Line Road in Ardmore. Ask for Pat. Ask for Angela. Tell them Irving and the Big Dog sent you.
Intricacies, huh? Intricacies, huh?
Intricacies. You saw it.
I like that. I like that word.
Intricacies, yeah.
Speaking of intricacies.
Little particulars.
Speaking of intricacies, what the hell happened Sunday?
Bro, Big Dog, listen, man. I'm actually considering not watching football anymore. Because I'm an Eagles fan now. I started officially last year being an Eagles fan. And I am so disappointed in everything that's going on. And I can say that, and you can say that if that's your perspective. Yeah, because we played this game. We played this game at this level. We played this game for the Philadelphia Eagles. And not just it's for me, it's not just the losses, particularly this one against Arizona, which there was no way in my mind. I had doubt about them beating the defeating the Giants, but they did. Yeah. But I had no doubt, in spite of what was happening defensively, in spite of what was happening with the staleness of the offense, I had no doubt in my mind that they would be the team that was coming across the country that only had 3 wins, that they had an incentive to beat because Jonathan Gannon, last year's, offensive coordinator, or defensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. We had a reason, to get up for the game. And there's no way in my mind that I saw this team losing a game in the manner that we got dogged, manhandled, the way we got manhandled.
Up and down the field, man.
So I'm just like, what is going on? And then, the aftermath, you got with A.J. Brown, and you got some really, and we're going to talk about this, some really stupid comments on behalf of the coach, Nick Sirianni, and behalf of A.J. Brown that really just, I'm like, what is going on with this team, man? They just fought. They were at the top of the world. They were on top of the world at the beginning of the season, even halfway through the season, 10-1. When they got to 10-1, they're on top of the world. Now the world is on top of them. And it just happened in a matter of 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a downward spiral. You hear things coming out now, like all of a sudden they're saying that Jordan Davis is not in shape. Like, no, he's getting double teamed. And
where does that come from? What do you mean he's not in shape? He just got out of shape all of a sudden?
Something stupid. Yeah, it's like, you know what?
People are crazy.
When I listen, that's when I lose respect for certain people who are commentating the game or critiquing the game and analyzing it. It's like, because if you know anything about what they're doing to us, they're running a basic rub double where you don't have linebackers who've been in your system and who don't know how the guys up front play. For a better word, we have screwed the pooch on getting good quality linebackers. It's like when you run a rub double, and Spuds is in the room. What's up, Spuds? Spuds played D-line with me at Northern Illinois. They're rub double.
Up, Spuds?
if they're rub double, you have to have a linebacker to come and take that off you, because if they don't get the rub. This is like a rub double is, so it's just a center and this is a guard. Both of them, they hit you at the same time. Mm-hmm. And as they push you and mush you, one of them comes off depending on which way the linebacker goes. If you have a good linebacker like Trotter, or we had Thump, and then we had Mandela Lafone in the middle in college, and but they would come down and they would hit the line of scrimmage and make that double team come off you, so both of you guys can be free. So it's just one of those things where it's got a linebacker play, and they just ran the ball down our throat and dictated to us.
So let me ask you this, Big Dog, because I mean you're bringing a thought into my mind that wasn't there before. So is the vanilla state of this defense, because they're vanilla, they're straight vanilla. What you see is what you get. They don't make it hard for a quarterback to recognize what the defense is doing. They don't make it hard for the offensive line to recognize what our defense is doing. They don't make it hard or difficult for a wide receiver who's coming off the ball to try to read any shifting that's taking place by the defensive backs, whether safeties or corners, during the course of a play. Is that happening? Are we vanilla like that because of the lack of play, the lack of ability at the linebacker position?
I think we it's like somebody just said, Greg just said it in the comments. It's like sometimes the players take on the the personality of the coach. And right now,
that's always the case.
But right now we're in no man's land. Who's the defensive coordinator? The defensive coordinator at first was decided, but he wasn't really definitive.
Right. That's the coach's fault, because he made the change and didn't, put his foot down one way or the other.
Even if you had to make the change. Well, I mean, what else was you gonna do? You had to. And it's like, and this is what my thing with what's going on is, don't start pulling crap out of your rump talking about something. The young guy is not out of shape. He's running around. He's running to the rock. I was like, well, we get some, I think, and this is what, and I hopefully, and I think that Matt Patricia is this type of fellow. he's going to realize, okay, we're not getting nothing from him. We need to excuse the language, shit can some of the stuff that has been taught to them already,
right.
and get to some basic stuff. Because right now we getting beat by basic stuff. Every team knows to rub double and go up to the next level to get their running backs some running yards. That's why our safeties are always down the line. I'll say Tyrod Taylor came out in the game with versus Giants and did a play action fake and threw a 90-yard bomb. I don't even know if he's got that in his career other than that time.
Well, he does. Listen, Arizona scored more points against the Eagles this last week than they did against anybody else in the league in any of their other games this year. They scored more, 35 more than they scored on anybody else.
But then I was talking to one of my esteemed colleagues from WIP, do the tank of the evening with Steve Trevelise, and so Steve was like, she said, so now everybody. I'm sorry, folks. This is going to make everybody cringe. The scenario that I'm about to run down to you, the scenario where we got to, where was first and long, then we try to run a wide receiver screen, and then 2 quarterback draws. And guess what, Steve Trevelise? He was like, well, it worked against the 49ers. I said, say it one more time, look in the mirror and say it slow. It worked against the 49ers. That means we're what? Mr. Predictable. We're somebody, my sister, Maxine, hey, Max, she just said it. We're vanilla. We're vanilla. Say vanilla. It's like, it's nothing you could get around. It's like, it's kind of like insanity.
Maxine, we see you, vanilla. Maxine said vanilla. Yeah, Maxine said vanilla. But here, you know what, Big Dog, here's my concern. And this is my concern, and this was just revealed this week. Okay. I was ranting and raving about it the week prior, but it really brought more problems this week when it began to unfold and the reality of what really happened began to be told. And this adds to my confusion, or even the confusion of the team internally, and lets us know that this team is really. I'm getting to the point now. You never really heard me say Nick Sirianni. You never really heard me say Sean Desai. You never really heard me say Brian Johnson. You never really heard me point the finger at the coaches. But now it's I think it's time to hold them accountable. Because why? Go ahead.
Because we have a talented team.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like somebody just asked me, do we have talent? I was like, dude, if I had this team with them dumbass linebackers, they would be coming every play. That you give them a big, excuse the language, a big dumb animal. You just give seek and destroy. Go get the guy with the ball. I don't. If you're not gonna cover nobody, I'm not gonna let him stand back there and pick us apart. Right. The dumbest QB, Tim Tebow can pick us apart right now.
At least try to create some pressure. At least try to create some pressure. Yeah. So here's my, and hopefully I can get this in before I break. Okay. Here, and we got Brian Dawkins on today, y'all. We missed him last week, but he's going to be on with Dawk Talk today. So a couple of weeks ago, when they were playing against the Seattle Seahawks, we know they had 32 seconds left on the clock, 2 timeouts, and Jalen Hurts threw that long ball down to AJ Brown. It got it intercepted in the double coverage, and the game was over. Right. I was ranting and raving about what in the world is going on in this 2-minute drill. That never happens. The quarterback and the coach in today's game is in communication. They're in communication up to 15 seconds left on the clock. So the coach is talking to him. What's going on? You got 2 timeouts. We got plenty of time. You can throw the ball in the middle of the field. And look, we got Jake Elliott, who's money. Why would you throw the ball down the field like that? Then this week, after A.J. Brown doesn't talk because he's upset, like that whole crap, I'm tired of him too. He comes back, and when he's talking, he says, well, let me give you an example of the coach, because I love him. He's the one, we changed the play. Jalen and I changed the play on that play. We decided to do what we wanted to do, And the coach said that he decided, because we heard him the week after, and I was upset about this, irate about it. He said that, well, we thought that if we threw the ball down the field in the 2-minute drill, that we can get past interference. What kind of crap is that? I thought that was one of the most asinine statements a coach could ever make. Then come to find out from A.J. Brown that the coach said that to cover for A.J. Brown and what kind of and Jalen Hurts. So now Jalen Hurts, in a crucial moment, Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown can decide. You don't do that. Decide to change what the coach is called and do what you want to do. Man, there's something wrong. There's something really wrong going on with this team offensively and defensively. Listen, we got a package coming up. Go ahead, Ralph. Hit it. Pay the commercial.
In our family, food is our daily bond. My nonna, affectionately called Mama by many, found solace and joy in the kitchen, sharing her love through delicious creations. She turned her culinary passion into a flourishing business alongside her husband and sons in 1983. Celebrating 40 years is a testament to our exceptional team, friends, family, and beloved customers. With gratitude, we look forward to the future, expanding our brand to share the highest quality Italian food and wine nationwide. Our heartfelt thanks to everyone who has played a part in our story. Grazie mille.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, proudly celebrating 40 years and our new, bigger showroom.
Twice the size and twice the fun.
More pool tables by Olhausen. More dartboard sets, including custom reclaimed backboards. More bar and kitchen stools that can change a room.
And more bars, including pre-built and custom.
Hot tubs, skee ball, shuffleboard, outdoor,
and fun.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, your ultimate game room store. Now located on Bethlehem Pike in Colmar.
All right, we're back in the house. This is A2D Radio. We're vetted with Irving Fryar, Hollis Thomas. I'm Irving Fryar. There's Big Dog Hollis Thomas next door to me right there. We're in the house. We're talking about this debacle of a team right now that has gone from, just great aspirations and high expectations to, man, we don't even know what to expect now. That is the worst. Yeah. They're lost to the Arizona Cardinals. Now, mind you, they had reason to win. Jonathan Gannon comes in and does his thing. Hats off to Jonathan Gannon. I have to give hats off to Jonathan Gannon. When they come in here and beat us, this got to be one of the worst, if not the worst loss based on, all of the things that were carrying around it, what they need, why they needed to win, who was coming in, the situation, all the different scenarios and variables. That has got to be one of the worst losses in Philadelphia Eagles history.
Now, Ryan says that something happened on Sunday that hasn't happened since you played, Irv. But do you remember what it was, Irv? I don't know.
Yeah, I remember that Julio Jones caught 2 touchdowns. He's the oldest guy in Eagles history to catch 2 touchdown passes in a game since I did. But remember this, and you were there, I think. But I caught 4 in one game at that age. It wasn't just 2. I got 4. So my record stands.
Yeah, that's what I say. You was on one that day.
Yeah, I was on that day, bro.
You and Tyrone Detmer.
It didn't matter what he threw up, man. I was catching it and it was scoring. So I scored 4 that day against the Miami Dolphins. So yes, hats off to Julio Jones. He's the oldest wide receiver. He's wearing my number as well. He's the oldest wide receiver in Philadelphia Eagles history to catch 2 touchdown passes since me, but I caught 4. Wasn't just 2. It wasn't just 2.
The one thing about this game is like it was right there for the taking, and we didn't take it. And there's like, we're gonna, and the things that are going to be amplified are the shortcomings, especially offensively, like with that scenario, that vanilla scenario that I had. But then I was looking also in the comments for my boy Troy Seabrook Spuds. It's like he said the same thing, that when I'm looking at this defense and the opposing team has got a good running game going,
right?
Our defensive linemen are taking on the blocks, and they're trying to get off the blocks, but it's like a rub double. You don't want them to move you back, but our linebackers just standing there waiting on things to happen instead of filling the proper gaps and making it happen. That's what a decisive defense and a tax style defense. You see it, go get it. You see it, go get it, and it's like until they play action fake you to pieces. I mean, you have to see it and go get it, or what's happening to us is going to continue to happen to us.
And Kyler Murray looked as comfortable as I've ever seen Kyler Murray look.
We got him early on, but yeah,
32 first downs, unfreaking believable. What do you do, Big Dog, in terms of this tackling issue that we have? Because in my opinion, it looks like guys are jumping on the back of running backs. It looks like guys are trying to push them out of bounds. It's almost like a basketball leverage kind of thing rather than a football hitting kind of thing, and aggressive and physical kind of thing. So it really disturbs me. You know, I went back and I watched every play on the Arizona's offense when they had, whether it was a passing play and the receiver caught the ball and then yards after catch, or whether it was a running play. And I watched and I counted how many times there were yards after catch. And it had to be at least 3 yards or more after the initial contact for me to count it as yards after catch. And I promise you, 7 out of every 10 carry, whether it's a catch and then contact and yards after the catch, or whether it was a run and it was contact and yards after catch. 7 out of 10 plays, they were getting 3 or more yards after contact.
I just see guys just grabbing people and kind of like laying on them, thinking that it's still high school. The one thing that continues to resonate every time I watch a film, it resonated from high school and from high school to college all the way to the pros. There's nothing going to change. You have to, when you tackle somebody, you have to drive your feet. When you just lay on them, you're not. And those guys are coached to keep going until you get them on the ground. And it's like it seems like we haven't done any tackling drills whatsoever. So again, I think it goes back to coaching in the way that we're preparing these guys to play. So
now is it time?
So you remember when I was coaching now, and we didn't have that, and I had that popsicle out there. We was tackling the popsicle. Yeah. That's like you have to do that. If you don't do that, and nobody wants to hit that popsicle. So if you don't want to hit the popsicle, you better tackle in the game, or we'll be popsicling it up for most of practice.
But you know what?
It ain't no frozen treat.
It's time for I believe us. What's going on? I see you, Mark. He said that's what happens when you don't practice. Yeah. What happens on the practice field becomes a reality on the football field, on the game field. You're right, Marcus. So it's time for me. It's time for me because this team, like I said earlier, has gone from being on top of the world. They were on top of the world. People were touting them as the Super Bowl favorites, 5, 6, 7, 8 games into the season, even after they were 10-1. People were touting them to be Super Bowl favorites. And now, they've gone to the bottom of the barrel. So is it time for us to begin to not necessarily just look at the players and what they're doing? Because I know on defense, part of the problem with defense is the fact that they lack ability. They lack talent, particularly at the linebacker position and so much so at the defensive back position. Not the line, but they lack ability there. But offensively, there's no excuse for them not to be putting points on the board because you got A.J. Brown, you got Devontae Smith, you got one of the best offensive lines in the league. You got Dallas Goedert, who's in the top 3 tight ends in the league. You got DeAndre Swift, who is a step up from Miles Sanders from last year. And then you got Jalen Hurts. So why isn't this offense producing points? Why isn't this offense able to at least sometimes make up the difference when it comes to the lack of defense that we have? I blame the coaches, man. You got to start looking at the coaches.
Yeah, the funniest thing is you said that is that every time we get towards the red zone, we start to get huge. We start to do. It's just like what do you run? Every time you run a wide, they know when you about to run a wide receiver screen. They know when you about to run a QB draw. That's like why don't you? I don't even know why those are in your repertoire anymore.
It shouldn't be.
Think of something new. And what I wanted to say, and thanks, Marcus. Dalvin Cook just went to the Ravens. Rich get richer. The Baltimore Ravens.
Dalvin Cook did?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So, the other
Wow.
part, the part about that defense, I feel like we've pieced together enough linebacker core wise to make our front should be able to carry the linebacker core, and I feel like our secondary is young enough, and they got young enough, and they're wise enough to keep us in some games. It just seems like we don't have somebody orchestrated, like the engine's running, but nobody's at the controls.
Well, listen, the Arizona Cardinals, the week before they played the Eagles this past week, they played the Bears and lost against the Bears. The Bears, who are the worst rushing offense in the league. Mm-hmm. The Bears rushed for over 250 yards against Arizona. Why aren't we running the ball? Then also, again, the Arizona Cardinals, they're coming down the field, the last drive.
Right.
Second and 4. Yeah. Our defensive backs are 7 yards off the wide receiver.
I don't know that. I don't know why they're doing that.
That's just throw and catch. They do that in warm-ups. You're not doing anything to threaten their ability to get a first down. Then it's 3rd and 5. In the next series after they got first down, our defensive backs are still 7-8 yards away from the wide receiver. You can't stop a 5-yard, 6-yard hitch or curl or out when you're 8 yards, 7 yards off. What is going on? We're playing it too safe. We got to be a little more aggressive and try to put a little more pressure on these quarterbacks. Otherwise, we're going to continue to get eaten up just the way we're getting eaten up. I have no confidence at all. I've gone to plan B, big dog. I thought I thought that at the end of the season, we're going to the playoffs, we're going to Arizona. I mean, not Arizona, but Vegas. We'll go to Super Bowl. I had plans for that. I stopped my plans. I'm in plan B now. I'm doing something else. I'm trying to make plans for the Super Bowl, a couple appearances, that kind of stuff. Because the Eagles are going to be one and done in the playoffs.
Oh man, quit saying that.
Ralph, put the agree to disagree up, please.
You don't know that. You don't say that.
Look, Nick Sirianni and the coaches are to blame for the Eagles' collapse. I agree. I agree. You gotta point.
It's not quality parenting.
They're way too vanilla, man. They're way too.
Not quality parenting.
It's not hard for the defense to understand what the offense is getting ready to do, and it's not hard for an offense to see what the defense is already lined up to do. And we're way too vanilla, and we don't try to bring about any kind of confusion or cause offenses or defense to try to think, whether it's a quarterback, whether it's defensive backs or linemen. We don't. It's just, I mean, when you look at it now, you've got to begin to point your finger at the coaches, because the coaches, how can you let this team slide the way they've slid? They're off the map. They've gone from first place to last place.
Well, not so much the last place, but in
you know what I'm being facetious.
They dropped out of what is it?
They dropped from the number 1 seed. They had the number 1 seed in the NFC.
For a long.
They had a week off before the playoffs, and now they got to go on the road. What looks like maybe to Tampa Bay.
Serves them right.
They're a wild card, bro. They go from number 1 seed to a wild card. And I know this game against the Giants doesn't really make a difference with regards to, their playoff seed or whether or not they're going to be in the playoffs. But it does make a difference with regards to how they enter the playoffs mentally. Yeah. With their mindset. They got to get a win under the belt. And I'm not talking like a win. I'm not talking about a win like they won against the Giants the first game, because they won that game, but it seemed like they didn't win that game. And then
this is what you don't want to win like. You don't want to win like, well, the Giants are coming back. The Giants almost had you. If the Giants had it, I don't want to hear nothing like that. I want to see a good sound ass whooping. And I don't want it to be eyes getting, and I don't want to see any feathers.
But you know what? That's what we thought was going to happen in the first Giants game, and we just got by the hair of our chin.
It's time to pay some more bills, though.
Pay the bills, Ralph. Hats.com is the premier destination for quality and fashion-forward hats and more, with designs for every style and trend. Locally based and run by Philly sports team fanatics, Hats.com can help you elevate your hat John. Utilize the easy-to-use guides at hats.com to find your perfect size and style. And shipping and returns are free. Hats.com. Find yourself in a hat. Use code Philly for 15% off your order. Hats.com.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, proudly celebrating 40 years and our new, bigger showroom.
Twice the size and twice the fun.
More pool tables by Olhausen. More dartboard sets, including custom reclaimed backboards. More bar and kitchen stools that can change a room.
And more bars, including pre-built and custom.
Hot tubs, skee ball, shuffleboard, outdoor,
and fun.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, your ultimate game room store. Now located on Bethlehem Pike in Colmar.
All right, we are back in the house. I don't know if you've heard us in our disgruntled.
It's not disgruntled. It's just it's the truth, man.
But I'm disgruntled because I'm disappointed. It just, the season is going turned into it's turned into a mockery, man. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It is going all bad.
I mean, how do you lose against the Arizona Cardinals? Come on, man.
With 3 victories too.
They got 3 wins, exactly. And then not just lose to them, but lose to them. They have 40 minutes of possession to our 20 minutes of possession. They ran the ball down our throat. They ran the ball for more than 200 freaking yards. Their last, 32 first downs. In the second half, they had 10 plays, 75 yards, TD. 9 plays, 77 yards, TD. 8 plays, 77 yards, TD. 7 plays, 70 yards, TD. They never punted the ball. How do you let a team that's got 3 wins come in and handle you like that in your place?
Ooh.
That's like one of those Ray Rhodes speeches before the game.
Yeah, we can't say that out loud on here.
I know I can't say it out loud, but you know what? I don't know if this team is going to recover this year, man. The thing about it that disturbs me so much is that, again, there's a window when you have a team, even the Patriots, as much of a dynasty as they were for as many years as they won, as many Super Bowls, 6 Super Bowls that they won, I think 5 or 6 Super Bowls that they won. That window's still closed. Eventually the window closes. Yeah, and that's rare, that you have that many Super Bowls.
It's rare that somebody come up with cheating scams like that. You ain't gonna. Them ain't the greatest. Fuck them. They get nothing from me.
I understand that, and
I was out there, and it was like it was just this is how much that little bit of cheating that helped them. It was like this. I understand what you're saying, but in my example, my illustration, I'm trying to say that there's a window that the Eagles have that I talked about prior to the season. Go to the 49ers.
Okay, but the Eagles. In my opinion, the Eagles have a window or had a window going into this season based on last season. Coming in, there was a window, with the draft choices, with the trades, the people that they've been able to acquire. Yes, they did lose 4 or 5 defensive starters. But I thought the Eagles were able to maintain pretty much what they needed to maintain to continue on the path that they were on as they ended losing the Super Bowl last year. And I thought to myself, maybe I was crazy. Maybe I drank the Kool-Aid. Maybe I was stupid. I don't know. But I thought there was a 4-year window for the Eagles where they could actually be contenders several times for the Super Bowl, or at least going deep into the playoffs.
Yes, yeah.
But now, given what's happening, because, they're going to change coordinators for next year. Next year is going to be a different defensive coordinator. Yeah. Next year is going to be a different offensive coordinator. So they're going to kind of halfway start all over again. They got to fix the defensive backfield. They got to fix the linebackers. Hopefully they can maintain, what they have on offense. But this team is going to be different next year.
It's going to be a little bit different. And I think that's the thing that the jacked up part that happens and stuff you get with a group of guys, and you just can't pull it off. It's just because you think you can add things, you think things are going to be better, and they're not the same, and they're not better. The first thing you say is, "Oh man, he ain't here no more." Oh man, he ain't here no more. It's like sometimes it's like, hey, And it's actually up to them how the rest of their story is going to be written.
Of course.
This particular team. And it's
Right.
like this is like it does matter what happens in this next game, but the ultimate thing is what happened. What are they going to do in the playoffs? So that's the ultimate thing. Is what team is going to show up in the playoffs? And it's like we could talk all the crap because this team will never be the exact same again. It's kind of like the first year I was with you guys.
Yep.
It was like that. I was like, man, that's my rookie year. My first year I go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
We was a little bit. Next thing, like we getting our ass whooped left and right.
Downhill after that.
Yeah, the next year after that, got to get kicked in the caboose.
Yes,
I heard Dawkins is back there and he's ready to go.
Yep, we got Brian Dawkins is in the house, y'all. Guess what? It's time for Dawk Talk. Stay tuned for Dawk Talk, featuring Hall of Famer Brian Dawkins, brought to you by Royal Billiard Recreation, Carlino's Italian Market, and Philly Sports Trips. There he is.
What's happening?
Hey, B-Dog, can you make us feel better?
Come on, man. Come on, man. Bro, man. Come on, man. Come on.
Listen, I'm not playing, so I don't have anything to do with it. I can't make a difference myself. You know what I'm saying? I can't go out in the field and turn things around by way of my own efforts or my own energy or my own mindset. And I feel kind of hopeless right now and useless because there's nothing I can do to help get things turned around with this team, man.
Yeah. I mean, and every one of us sitting on this doggone podcast right now is in the same exact boat when it comes to being absolutely helpless because you're not in the locker room anymore. You're not in those spaces. You're not in the place that these guys find themselves in.
Right.
But as I came on, I listened to, you guys talk about that transition that we went through from going to the playoffs. Our rookie year, Tank, right? And then things happened, and then we went kind of we
were horrible the next year.
Very, very bad path. After that. So, it's not like when we do talk about these things, we're talking about it from a place of always being someone who's always had success, right? We also are giving from a place of the pain that it felt to be in those places. I would tell you, I was extremely embarrassed during those times. Mm-hmm. Extremely embarrassed. I didn't even want to leave the house sometimes.
Yep.
Just feeling so doggone embarrassed because it hurt. Mm-hmm. And it's supposed to hurt. Like when you lose, it's supposed to hurt. When you lose a game like they lost this past week, it's supposed to hurt. And one of the things that gave me a little bit of hope going forward for this team is the faces that I saw when he announced the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Usually when cats make the Pro Bowl was, they weren't happy. It wasn't none of that.
None of that.
Cats wasn't smiling. Cats wasn't really congratulating nobody. Why?
Right.
I believe it's because they embarrassed.
Yeah.
They hurt. They mad. They angry. Right.
Right.
And so to me, that's a great thing. That's a great thing to have a team to come in like Arizona, to come into your backyard, to put up 200 yards rushing, to basically eat up the clock, stay on the field, keep the offense off the field at home is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And every defensive player in that room, I hope, watch the film. Again, I love watching the film together. And when you have a game like that, I want to watch it together because I want the defensive coordinator, the whoever, the linebacker coach, the secondary coach, to point out the dude that's causing us or caused us to lose, to have not have success on specific plays, even if it's me. It's me.
Right.
So I like that accountability because it's accountability that gets you out of these type of holes. Right. It's accountability of me not wanting to disappoint Tank, because I know I messed up on that one play and I will not do it again. I will not be embarrassed like that again. I will not be someone that's a liability, right? Mm-hmm. I would never be a liability again. So I'm going to do something different. Make sure I will never be a repeat offender, right? So that's the kind of perspective that I'm bringing to this thing. So that's what I hope I saw in that doggone meeting room.
Yeah.
That guy, are you so pissed off? You ain't supposed to be pissed off. You're embarrassed. You're supposed to be embarrassed. Now do something about it.
Yep.
Do something. Go out in the field and do something. Show us Show us you're embarrassed. Show us that you're the team that was earlier in the year, not this team that has been the last couple of games, last 5 or 6 games. And whatever you have been doing these last 5 games, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
Yep.
So it's insanity to go into this last game and do the exact same things you've been doing. So I hope that is an imagination running through the offensive coordinator and Nick. They're getting together and they're talking about doing things completely elaborate, different than they've done before in order to get Jalen in a place of being comfortable and having fun. One of the things that you miss about this team that some people loved it, some people don't like it, is the celebratory atmosphere that it was last year.
Yeah.
Come on, let's do our thing, right? Let's go. Let's do that. But for the last 8 games, have you saw any of that?
None of that.
None of it. But you're having a good time like that, right?
But Doug, you know you can't do that when you're getting your ass kicked.
But my point is, even before they start getting to the point where they are when it comes to Dallas, I'm talking about when they were barely winning those games.
Right.
They were when they were finding a way.
Yeah.
It wasn't that celebratory. Score a touchdown. Let's get a dance together. Let's do these things that we've done in the past, right? So again, they need to have. Hopefully, they've had some tough conversations. Honest conversations of what they need to do going forward, and that this team that we see coming out this last game is a completely different team.
Yeah. So B-Dawk, let me ask you this question. What do they need to do to address the tackling issue? They're not tackling very well. We know that you developed your own fly tackle. That was awesome. I used to love that, bro. You got your fly. I used to love that, man. Get a B-Dawk. But what do they need to do? Because it's not good, bro. It's guys are overrunning. They're kind of looking like they're jumping on the runner or the ball handler's back.
Jump on the pile.
Push guys out of bounds.
Let me tell you asking me, Irv, what I would have done. I think I said it maybe about 4 weeks ago. Here's what I would have done with my video department. I would have asked them to go back into each one of these dudes' pass and grab how they have played in the past from that aggressive place, from that lowering the shoulder on somebody, dropping the wood on somebody, right, running through somebody, and then putting it on a highlight reel.
Right.
And then asking basically, where is that dude?
Where's that cat right there?
Where is that cat? I'm not asking you to do something you haven't already done, because we see you can do it. Where is he? Can we see this dude coming up this week? Right. And then if everybody's seeing the same thing, again, we're watching this together. If everybody's seeing the same highlight reel together, and then we watch film and you're not doing that same thing. Now I got questions of you. Why are you not doing that? Right. Why are you not coming like that? Right. So when here's the other thing about it. When you're not 100% on the same page of what your responsibilities are, if you have a new defensive coordinator coming in, some guys, they're more passive, right? So they're going to, and I say it like this, they go on the field sometimes to survive the down, not to thrive in the down.
Okay.
And if I'm just going to survive a down, I'm not going to make aggressive plays.
Right.
I'm going to let the guy catch the ball, and I'm going to tackle with the front part of my pads instead of the top part of my pads.
Okay.
If I'm hitting you with the top pad, if I'm coming to tackle you and I tackle you with the front of my pad, what does that mean?
That means you about to get ran over. Yeah, either get run over or you get stiff arm or you're going to wind up on the ground.
Now, Dawk, you might want to put.
Go ahead.
You might want to put earmuffs on for what you just said. For the people in the room, it's not a bad thing. It's for those people in the room who don't understand what he's saying. He's saying that sometimes he who hesitates masturbates. That's what he's like. When you're on the field, you don't hesitate. You strike hard. You strike first and strike fast. I
never heard that before, Big Dog. That's the first time I heard that one.
Well, because what is Jim always? It's like, and Dawk, now I told him I would have made them start hitting the popsicle. And we hitting the popsicle, lock, lift, and drive. We're gonna hit it until you quit, missing tackles. Wrap your arms up. If you don't do it right, you do it light, you do it wrong, it's gonna go long. So it's like, but you have to get it out of them. The first way The first way, because they grown men, is the way Dawk said. The right way is the way I'm saying it. Because if you don't do it, you're not gonna recognize it, and we're gonna still be doing it. And then the hesitate thing. Go ahead, Dawk.
And so the reason why I'm saying to do it from this place, though, Tank, instead of going that route right away, is because you want to show them what they have already done.
What they've done, what they're capable
I
of.
want to show you what you have been, what you have shown that you can do. And we need that. We don't need what we have seen. We need what you have shown us to be able to do. It's a couple of guys on this defense that I listen. I'm loving Sidney. Right.
I like him.
Sidney needs some coaching, though. He needs to get under control.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing about it, Irv. Here's the thing about it. I love the fact that we have someone that you have to tell to slow down.
Right. Yes. No, I'd rather have a guy like that.
Slow down. Hey, easy. You know what? You can help him to harness that and then be able to unleash it the right way. Right. But you can't. You always having to tell a guy to go faster. Go harder. Finish the play. You don't want that, right? So I love the fact that we have a couple of those guys on this team. But from some of these other guys, again, I need to show them what you have done to give you the opportunity to be in the National Football League, yes, but also to be on the Philadelphia Eagles. This is the reason why we brought you here. We need that. We need that person on this because there ain't no doggone tomorrow, fellas. Like there ain't no tomorrow.
Thank you. And Doc, tell me this before you came on, man. It was we talked about the one thing that you can't expect, like we did like you just said, our rookie year. You can't expect this team to be like the same way it was last year. The same names are not going to be on this roster. So it's who do y'all want to be? It's like because you've given us two different people. You're giving us some chumps. You giving us the world beaters, but then you gave us these chumps. Who do y'all want to be? Because that's right now you're giving us the chumps. It's like it's who do you want to be?
And I hate to talk about it from this perspective because we're going into the playoffs, right? We have an opportunity to do some things in the playoffs. But here's the other thing about when you go into those stretches, you're putting something on tape that other teams are watching if you're not going to be with the Eagles.
Right.
So
thank you.
Yeah, you're putting some stuff on your resume that is going to help you or either hinder you from having a chance to play anywhere. And again, I don't want to talk about this. If you're the Eagles fans, you don't want to hear about going anywhere else. But my point is, that's your resume.
Right.
What you're putting on tape right now is a part of your resume of how you play the game of football, especially in a time of crisis.
Yes.
Like, that's when you literally, that's who you can look at, who you can count on. Like when I'm watching film and we have lost a game and we've gotten blown out, I want to see who's still giving
fighting.
everything that they got. I want to see that person. And also I want to see them dudes that are quitting.
Yep.
Right? Because we need to have a conversation. If I'm out there busting my behind, if I'm giving everything that I got to the last of me and risking myself diving, like you're talking about, Irv, diving all over the place.
Yeah, that's the fly tackle.
I don't do that to look pretty. I look at it to be effective and to cause some cause a little pain when I get there, right? But I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I want to be effective all over the field. So I expect my teammates to be the exact same way, to play with that same exact passion or the same aggression, and to want to get it done. If the dude and tackling is not tackling, just tackling. Tackling is getting the dude down on the ground with extreme prejudice.
Yes, with extreme prejudice. I love it.
It's getting him down with extreme prejudice. That's what tackling should be.
Right.
So as a defense, when you come again, when teams come into Philadelphia to play the Eagles, oh man, and I don't want to talk about other teams right now, but I'm going to. When teams go into the Baltimore right now, what do you think they're thinking on defense?
They got to be physical, otherwise they're going to lose. Because Baltimore talks
here's the other
physical.
thing about a physical defense. When you play a physical defense, you want check the injury report for the team that you played the next week and see how many people that didn't practice Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday because you played that physical team. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And even if you don't win the game in terms of points on the board, you lose the game in terms of the physicality. The physical nature of the game, physicality of the game. You get bruises, you get bumps, you get folk, nicked up because we play tough.
You walk over, you're gonna go back.
So B-Dawk, what do you think about the Eagles and the Giants? I think they don't have to win this game. and for sake of the playoffs. They're in the playoffs. You know, they're going to probably go down to Tampa and play Tampa, whether they win this game against the Giants or not. But tell me what you think about this game with the Giants. Personally, I think they need to win this game. Why? For their mental capacity, for their mind state, for momentum going into the playoffs. So what do you think?
You go into this game like you need this game to get into the doggone playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have gotten embarrassed. Listen, I guess I need to repeat this again.
No, you don't need to repeat.
Embarrassed at
Yeah.
home.
Yeah, you do. I want
By
to
an Arizona team.
Yep.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Basically running the football, just running the ball, running. And maybe they was running it not to win, to get a better draft pick. I don't know what, but my point is they were just running the ball, and you never stepped up and said, no, that's enough of that. We finna get off this doggone field, right?
Wow.
So going into this game, again, I'm looking, if it's me and if I'm in that locker room and we have put that type of stinking on film, dude, this coming week, you're gonna have to hold me back. Right? Matter of fact, man, listen, so that's my point. So that's the feeling that needs to be stepping on into the Giants field. Matter of fact, in this game, I don't look for a lot of celebration, a lot of celebratory stuff that I was talking about earlier.
Right,
because it's about my fist being balled up.
Yeah.
Because I'm so doggone mad that we put that on doggone film. That we let ourselves get into this situation that we could potentially not have the NFC East in our home, right? So no, we need to go handle business. And when I say handle business, I'm talking about handle business. I'm not talking about how it happened that you won on the last drive last time when it was
No, yeah.
Let it be
decisively.
Known, speak loud and clear on offense, defense, and special teams. This is what we about, and this is what we're gonna be about going into the postseason, and then we'll see what happens.
Boy, I love it, though. I love playing with y'all, man. No, but I mean, you were a rookie coming in, and you weren't the Brian Dawkins that you are now. But man, the development and over time, bro, I love playing with y'all, bro. It was just a different mindset. It's just different. It's different now, man. It's I don't understand how this team has devolved into the position that it is now. And it's not because they can't play. It's because they're not playing.
Yeah.
It's not because they can't play. It's because they made the choice. They chose. Like you said, B, when you go into this game with the Giants, I make a choice. We're going to put our foot down. We're going to mash the gas. Yeah, we got embarrassed. We put this mess on the field. It's going to change this week. That's a mindset. That's a mentality. That's a choice that you make, and you go out and you execute what you decided in your mind that you're going to do.
Yeah, it's like the one thing that I think Marcus mentioned that social media has made a lot of guys soft, putting workouts and stuff on social media. Nobody give a damn about that. Put it on the field. You want to show me something? Show me something from the game.
Here's the other thing.
From the game. Yeah.
Here's the other thing with me, right? If social media is causing you to do anything and say anything, or causing you to feel some type of way, fast from it. Cut it off. Get off it.
Yep.
Don't even look at it. Don't even talk on it. Don't even use it. Matter of fact, I remember my last year there in Philadelphia. One of the things that I did, I was like, we got to get grimy because we had lost a bunch of games and we was right around 500 going into the last maybe 4 games, and we needed to win some games and have some things happen for us to get into the playoffs. And one of the things that we needed to beat the Giants in a couple of successions, right, to even get into the playoffs, because they were the number one. I think they were the number 1 seed or something like that at that time. And so one of the things that I asked everybody to do was just, hey, let's just get grimy. Let's not shave. Nobody shave. Like, let's just grow some, I was thinking about hockey. Let's do something to galvanize ourselves, to draw one another together, to play for another. And we all have this same thing we're doing together, so that we can go off and make a run. And we did. And I asked Mr. Lord, I asked Jeff to do it. I had, Big Red did it, Andy did it. Like we were all looking grimy together.
Yes,
so we were all going into the game grinding together, right? So it's a similar thing for me with this team when it comes to social media, dog. Let's get off it. Everybody.
Yeah, get off.
Nobody do nothing on social media.
Yep.
Let's
Don't talk
go
to nobody on
social
social
media.
media.
Let's go social media silent for this playoff run.
Silence.
And let's go eat.
Yeah.
Let's go eat.
Silence.
Silence. Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
B-Dawk, thank you, man. Always
Appreciate
good
it, baby.
talking to you, bro. We love you being on the show, and we love your introspective addition always, and what you add to the show, man. It's awesome. It's awesome. We appreciate you, bro.
You know why, man? Because that hurt me.
Yeah, it hurt me. Listen,
That
I
hurt
literally
me to watch
listen. I
that,
was telling Big
man.
Dog.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
I was
it
telling
hurt
Big
bad.
Dog it hurt me so much. I was literally thinking about not watching football anymore because it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense to me why this team
You know why it
has
doesn't make
fallen
sense?
off the cliff the way they've fallen off the cliff. And then, we got some turmoil in the locker room now and people talking. And so now
again, that's why it goes back. I know I'm not getting off now. We got to continue to talk. But that's why it's so important to have those tough conversations. To have those let's get in this room. Let's have these tough conversations. Let's do what we need to do. Have a conversation. Talk about what we need to talk about. And then come out of this thing and just go.
Yeah. So in your opinion, is that on the players or is that on the coaches?
No, listen, again, for me, as when I was younger, I'm glad you mentioned the fact that when we came in, we were different than we were as we got older, because as I got older and then you left, Troy left, a lot of people left, I had to then step up into that leadership position.
Right.
And one of the things that I often did, I said, Jim, can I get 5 minutes? Can I get 5 minutes with the guys before meetings? And then we would talk. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We would talk. We would have a conversation. We would talk about some stuff, right?
Yep.
And then we would then come to an agreement on how we're going to go about going forward together, what we're going to do, what we're going to put on film for one another, right? What you can expect from me. And Tank, I would not get up in front of y'all and just talk about what y'all was doing wrong. No, I would point out stuff that I was doing wrong. I would point out dumb stuff that I was doing that I'm going to fix, that is not going to happen again. And I want, let's ride this thing together. Let's do this thing together. But if you don't have those conversations, if you have those leaks, man, people leaking and talking about
people leaking and talking stuff,
everybody in the locker room feel like that their voice is not being heard, right? I don't like it anyway. But my point is, if that is happening, if that did happen, that means that person feels like they can't speak any other way than to do that in that way. So that I need to have that conversation. I need to hear the things. Maybe someone tells me, Doc, you being a jerk. You selfish in such and such. Maybe they say that. I don't know what they might say, but my point is, you have that tough conversation.
But you know what? That's okay, because it's up front and you know what you're dealing with. Rather than you can't operate in this game with hidden agendas.
Yes. Exactly. And that's what I was going to say. The thing about those tough conversations Dawkins is speaking of, I used to think, I was like, well, I know I ain't in trouble because all the coaches is leaving. So it's like you walk in the room, it's like, why are we sitting there looking like this?
Well, evidently that's not the conversations that they're having right now in the meeting rooms with the players, because things, things are spiraling out of control.
So again, the way, and I keep saying me because I can't put myself in anybody else's mindset. I'm talking about me. It was Jim's responsibility with the game plan.
Right.
As far as the effort on the field, as far as the getting to the being physical, sound assignment, right? That's for us to police.
Right.
That's for the players. That's what we do. That's not this is not Pop Warner. This is not high school, right? This is the professional football leagues, the professional leagues in here. Everybody got families, right? So we are doing this thing and we in this thing together. So now we need to hold one another accountable. If you don't have accountability in this sport, you got nothing. You got nothing.
Yes.
Right.
Your job is more than just 3 words. It is. It's like when people say do your job, it's like it's not a derogatory statement, because it's like we tell you to. It's kind of like this. It's like and we expect you to be smart and not do something dumb, do nothing selfish. It's like you sometimes you have those extremely talented players who we call them can't get right. You don't know if they're going to be there. or you don't know after the play they're gonna celebrate too much, or they're gonna thrust it, they're gonna get some pelvic thrust to the crowds or something, or get a 15-yard penalty or something stupid. It's like you try to harness those guys, but you hope that they don't pick those guys to play with you. So it's like
especially if they can't change, if they can't harness that once or two times, but if you go ahead and harness that at the beginning of the season, so it won't come back and bite you in your butt at the end of the season, right? But ultimately, to your point, man, Tank, doing your job goes so much further than just doing your job.
Exactly.
On defense, you do your job with extreme prejudice. Yes. That's what it is. That's how you go do your job. It's not just doing my job. And my job is not if my job is not done till the ball carrier is down. So if I have, and Jim used to always talk about it, and I see a lot of this on our defense, they trade 1 for 1.
Yeah,
matter of fact, you would get a minus from Jim if you trade 1 for 1.
Right.
Right. No. We want you to be able to do your job, yes, but if you can shed the dude to come off, make the tackle, clip his leg or something like that, not just trading 1 for 1. Right?
Nope.
Not just saying receiver blocked me. Right. I turned the ball back inside, and I don't try to shed to make a play. So I did my job. No, you didn't do your job. The dude's still carrying the ball, and he's still running towards the goal line. Yeah.
But in my opinion, that's your job to shed the block and trip the runner. It's not just to hold the block, take 1-on-1, and that's not your job. Your job is to tackle the ball carrier. Your job is to sack the quarterback. Your job is to defend the ball.
But for some guys, I did my job. And you can see it on film. You can see it. It becomes Velcro.
Right.
I know. I hate that.
Dude running right there, and
ain't doing nothing.
I did my job. I turned it back inside. That's why I said extreme prejudice.
Those are business decisions.
He's gonna get it, and then the ball carrier gonna get it if I can get to him. Right.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Well, that's why you're Hall of Fame. That's why you're Hall of Famer. That's a Hall of Famer's attitude.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Happy New Year too, man.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you, bro. Absolutely. God bless you. Thank you for being on. He's signing out. Get out of here, man. We love you, bro. We holler at you, man. Listen, everybody. In 2018, Eagles legend Brian Dawkins was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. To commemorate this moment, B-Dawk designed and launched an exclusive collaboration with Bowman Hat Company, America's oldest hat maker, on hats.com. Brian's love for hats and the Eagles were on proud display in Canton, Ohio, and now you can find yourself in that same iconic Hall of Fame fedora. Just go to hats.com and search Brian Dawkins and use the code Philly for 15% off your order. Use code Philly, 15% off your order at hats.com. That was good. I think B-Dawk started, he over the course of the year, he started really liking coming on, and he's a little hesitant at the beginning of the year. He didn't really know what was going to happen.
Yeah. And he'd be like that. He's careful about his, about
what he does. Of course. We appreciate B-Dawk for coming on this year and being on with us for this segment every other week called Dawk Talk. But now, guess what? We got to close the show out. Then we're going to give you our prediction at the end, but we got to close the show out with none other than History with Hollis.
Yeah, this day in History with Hollis Thomas is brought to you by Philly Sports Trips. Go to phillysportstrips.com and pick up one of our tailgating or our event packages, especially with the Eagles, the Birds coming up this week. We're traveling up to MetLife Stadium. I can't call it the Meadowlands anymore. So, and also phillysportshirts.com, who are in a partnership with Philly Sports Trips, phillysportshirts.com, and you can hit the vetted tab and get vetted gear, or damn Skippy gear, or you know the rest. The damn Skippy gear, maximize my sexy gear. The victory wasn't pretty, but the W is sexy. Today is January the 4th, 2024. It's the 4th day of the year. It's 361 of these puppies remaining. Today's national holidays is National Spaghetti Day. It's National Trivia Day. It's National Braille Day and Pop Music Charts Day. It's National Braille Day because today is, what's the guy's name? Lou Braille.
Did you say hot garbage day? Today is hot garbage day?
No, I didn't say hot garbage. I say pop music.
I thought you said hot garbage.
No, I said today is Braille Day. And so today is the guy who invented Braille, Louis Braille.
Oh, Braille. Okay.
Yeah, he's a blind guy. So I got some events today. This day in 1847, Samuel Colt, he sold his very first revolver pistol to the United States government. In 1863, the four-wheel roller skate was invented in New York by James Plimpton. In 1885, the very first appendectomy was done here in America to a young lady at 22 years old named Mary Garcia, by Dr. William Grant in Iowa. In Iowa. Yes, wow. In Iowa. Then we have in 1893. This is a funny kind of thing right here. There's a couple of events back to back. 1893, then President Cleveland, he grants amnesty to the Mormons for polygamy. Then in 1896, after the Mormons abandoned polygamy, Utah was admitted as the 45th state of the United States.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, in 1962, the very first automated, which is unmanned, subway train started in New York. In 1971, the stadium that me and you played in was dedicated on this day. In 1971, the Veteran Stadium. Yep.
Nice.
In 1983, the United States Football League they held their first draft. USFL, yes. Mm-hmm. And then I have a couple of quick birthdays here. Today in 1643 is Isaac Newton's birthday, and in 1809, as I said earlier, was Louis Braille's. 1930, your friend and mine, Don Shula.
All right, Coach Shula, rest his soul. Yeah,
rest his soul. 1935. Boxer Floyd Patterson, 1969, former 64 Corey Blount, and 1994. I put Derrick Henry's birthday down there for a specific reason. Now, he's an unrestricted free agent next year, but I'm not going to even get that far ahead of myself.
He's not coming here.
I'm not going to get that far. We need a smash mouther. We need a smash mouther. The last time we won, we had LeGarrette Blount.
Okay, we need a smash mouth. Look, Derrick Henry's not coming here.
Okay, that's this day in history by Hollis Thomas has been brought to you by Philly Sports Trips. That's phillysportstrips.com to look up all of your fan type of things for any of the Philly sports. That's phillysportstrips.com. Tell them that the Tank sent you. You heard it.
Tell them that the Tank sent you. Yeah.
Yes.
So, what you got? Eagles, Giants. What you think, man? What you think?
I feel like
we've been wrong.
We've been wrong so much
for weeks.
We've been wrong for the last and it was like, and I was wrong in some of the early on games by the score on a few of them. But this week, I feel like our offense is still churning, and I feel like our offense is just gonna kind of blow them out the water. I think our offense is gonna score about 35 points because Wake Martindale can only hold us down for so long, and then I think once we impose our will. I think, and then the offensive line, the Swiss cheese. But this is one of those ones that we should dominate, and we better dominate.
We should have did that. Okay, listen, I'm going to tell the truth this week.
Okay,
I've been giving my predictions. I've been giving my predictions not based on really how I really feel or what I really think. You know, the last couple of weeks, I thought last week they would mess up and against the Cardinals, but I thought, I'm like, and then the Giants, I thought they would lose the Giants game, and then I had a feeling they would lose against Seattle. I think they're gonna lose this game. One, because there's really no incentive for them to turn it around. It's not like if they lose, they're not going to be in the playoffs. So, and it's tough. Again, they just finished playing the Giants 2 weeks ago, and they struggled to win that game. We won that game, but it doesn't feel like we won that game.
I know, but that's why I think we're going to win, because I think some of the Giants they haven't matured enough to, and I think it's just going to be one of those things where we come out and impose our will. You might be right, but
it's
I
the
think
last game of the season. The Giants can lay it all on the line. They have nothing to lose. They don't care one way or the other.
Say the last part again.
So they have nothing to lose. They don't care.
That part.
They don't care.
That's like, and you gonna see in the game.
When I say they don't care, though, you're probably going to see. I mean, put yourself in that position. To a certain extent, they're still going to be professionals. They're still going to try to come out and be the spoiler. Look for all kinds of trick plays and crazy stuff going on. We've seen that the last couple of weeks. Onside kicks and fake punts and all that kind of stuff. We're going to get all of that this week. And the Eagles have just not been able to put their finger on what the problems are. Not the problem, but they got problems. They have multiple issues that need to be corrected. And unless guys, for some reason, in a week's time, shift their mind to some button comes on, then the tackling is going to be off as well. And Saquon Barkley is going to have a good day. And, we're going to struggle again. And if at all, if we win the game, it's going to be barely like before. But I think because of what's at stake, because of what just happened, because of the turmoil that's in the locker room, because there's some finger pointing going on, because this team has been off for a long time. They lost to the worst freaking team in the league last week. They're going to struggle. They're not going to win this game.
Okay. I can accept that from you.
Now, I say that in hopes that they do win this game.
I know, but I can accept that from you.
Yeah. And it's based on what they've been doing, man.
Well, I understand.
It's based on what
I'm not angry.
Well, listen, you can only get angry when you say they're going to win and then they lose.
No. Well, now everybody's it's like I just feel like this is the time that I've been waiting for.
Well, they
waited a long damn time, but
they got to do something, man. And I don't think Sirianni has a grasp on what the pulse of this team needs. Okay. What he needs to infuse into this team to get the bloodline, to get the lifeline going again.
To get it boiling.
Yeah. I don't think he has a handle or he knows what it is that needs to be done. And then again, when you talk about, like I said earlier in the show, he's covering for Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown when they decide to, throw a long ball, making their own decision in the middle of a 2-minute drive when you got 32 seconds left on the clock and 2 timeouts, and they make a stupid. That's stupid. That's stupid. Yeah. To make that decision to throw the ball down the field, to try to get past that's stupid. That is really, really stupid. Yeah. So it just lets you know that this team is disjointed. They're disconnected. So we'll see. All right, I'm done ranting. Listen, y'all, we'll be back. We will be back next week.
Hey, okay, we may be back. My birthday next week, so I may not be in the country.
Is your birthday on Thursday?
It's January the 10th.
Is it on Thursday? No, that's Wednesday.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Thursday is the 11th next week.
I won't be in the country.
You still got internet.
Okay, we'll see.
When are you coming back, big dog? When you coming back?
The 12th.
The 12th?
Yeah.
What day of the week is that?
Friday.
That's next Friday.
Yeah.
So we just do the show Friday evening.
Okay. So we will be back next week. Either way, we'll be back next week.
So look for us, y'all. We'll be back next week right here on A2D Radio, whether it's Thursday at 5 o'clock or whether it's going to be Friday next week at 5 o'clock. We got to get back on here and talk about this game that the Eagles are going to play this weekend versus the Giants. This is Vetted. I'm Irving Fryar. That's Big Dog Hollis Thomas. We'll see y'all next week. Same time, same place, same purpose, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.
Fly,
go birds.
Fly.